Hello, everybody. This is Miss Ginny from the Rotary Children's Library. Welcome to our program today called Paper Magic. So today we are going to be making a mosaic squirrel, and I'm just going to show you a little picture of that. So all you really need, so here's a picture of the mosaic squirrel. All you really need is some paper. And you can just print off some colored squares because you want some colored squares, like 1-inch squares would be good, or even less. These ones are 1/2 inch. You also might want to print off some white squares like these ones. So you just need that. And on our website, you can print off the squirrel template that I had attached to the instructions. So there's your squirrel template. So once you've printed that off, you want to cut that template out. That's going to be what we're going to use for our mosaic squirrel. Now, the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need some scissors. You're going to need some Google Eye. And if you don't have a Google Eye, that's okay. You can use the squares as an eye. You also are going to need some glue. Now, I'm just going to show you what I have and what I did with my squares. Once I printed off all my little squares, I just cut them out. And it's up to you if you want to put them in different bowls. I just found the different colors I put in different bowls, so then I knew which bowl had what color in it. So I'm going to show you quickly what I did. So I hope you can see here, I have different bowls. So I have some yellow squares in there. I have white squares. I have some pink and purple. I have some blue. I have some orange. And I have some green. And I've got some red. So it's up to you what you want to do for your colors, but that's what I would suggest. So now we're going to carry on. And of course, like I said, I have a Google Eye there too. So I'm just going to clear my desk a little bit. Now you're going to want to have some kind of construction paper. You probably want that too, any color that you want. In this case, once I cut my template out, my squirrel template, I chose 3 different colors for my construction paper. I wanted it to look like the squirrel was going to be on the grass. So there's my squirrel template. I wanted to see if it would look nice, so I chose green for the grass, and I just chose a piece of blue, light blue so I have a blue sky. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of dark blue on there as well. So I'm going to glue that on right now just to have a background scenery place to put my squirrel on. So I'm going to turn the laptop down here so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see everything okay. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue the green on first. So just put a bit of green on the back of if that's the color you're using, you make your own scenery. If you want to draw your own scenery on, you can do that too. But for now, I cut mine out and I just cut it any old shape that I wanted it to be. So I put some glue on. I'm going to glue that to the bottom of my light blue construction paper. So that's going to be the grass. You can see that's the grass. Now I'm going to take the other blue, the darker blue that I had cut out, because I want to have kind of a little bit of dark blue in my sky. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of that. Spread it around and then stick it on. Again, it's totally up to you. If you want to draw some scenery there, you can. Now, the other thing that I did is I actually took some white paper and I just cut out a few little pieces of different shapes that look kind of like clouds. So I'm going to put those clouds in the sky, because we know clouds go in the sky. So that's kind of why I wanted the dark blue, so they would show up. So I'm going to glue those on. There's my cloud. There's one. I'm going to glue another one on. Now, it's a lot of fun, and you can choose whatever colors you want. It's totally up to you. There's no specific way that you have to do it. This is your picture, so make it the way you want it. Stick your clouds wherever you want if you're putting clouds on yours. I chose about 3 or 4 clouds. Some of them are bigger than others. Some are not. I got a really tiny one here I'm going to stick on. There's all kinds of shapes and sizes of the clouds. You can make them any kind of shape you want. I think I'll put that a little bit sideways like this. All right, so far that's my scenery. That's my backdrop, my scenery. So now I want to glue my squirrel on. Now you can put him this way, or you can put him that way. It's totally up to you. I am going to put my squirrel this way. Again, just glue him on because you've already cut him out. And I can see that my glue stick, I'm going to need a little bit more here, and I got a second glue stick here. So I'm going to stick my squirrel on. Decide where you want to stick your squirrel. Does he want to be right over on the one side? Does he want to be in the middle? You decide where you really want to have your squirrel, and then stick them onto your paper. And I'm going to have to change my glue stick because that one is running out. So I have another one here. So there you go. There's my squirrel to start with. Now, this is the fun part. What I would suggest is you decide where you want to put your Google eye. I have some black and white Google eyes, or I have some colored ones. You choose what you want. If you want a colored one so it stands out a bit more, go right ahead. Totally up to you what color you want to put on. I'm actually going to give my squirrel maybe, let's see, I should choose a really nice red or pink. That's the color I'm going to choose for his eye. Maybe it's a her, who knows? All right, might be a female squirrel. So now you can, it's probably easier to put it right on your paper, the glue, and then stick your eye on, because then you'll know where your eye wants to go. And it's just a little easier to put your squares on after. And if you have kind of a point to where your eye is, then you know where you're going to be going, right? So, all right. So now's the fun part where you get to put all your squares on. Choose whatever pattern you want. It can be a color pattern like you see in this picture. It can be a color pattern like that, or you just choose your own pattern. So I have a lot of pink and purple here, and your squirrel can be any color you want to make your squirrel. So I am going to put pink and purple as my color pattern. So I'm going to start out with some purple along the squirrel's tail. So I'm going to start right about here. So if I'm going to be doing that, rather than trying to put it on these little pieces of squares, because they're really tiny, I just put some glue on my squirrel, and then I'm just going to stick my squares on. So I'm going to do this. It's a little bit faster, a little bit easier that way for you. And we're just going to follow it all the way around. And again, put it wherever you want. It's totally up to you. You don't have to have any specific pattern. You can put a mix of whatever you want. Well, looks like that one was upside down and it was pink, and I want my purple there. So you're just basically trying to color in or cover in the white of the squirrel. And if you want to put purple and pink or whatever, like as a pattern, go right ahead. That'll look nice too. Whatever colors you choose is your decision. This is a mosaic squirrel. So mosaic means that you just put pieces in any kind of pattern you want to create a really interesting picture. And you're just basically outlining the squirrel's tail. Like that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just outlining the squirrel's tail. All right, you can see how I've started the tail there. Now I'm going to continue on, and then I'm just going to, I think I'm going to use some pink. Or no, maybe I'll use, let's see, what else do I want on there? Maybe I'll do some purple on the outside there too. Again, I just put the glue on first. I'll continue on with purple here for the tail. And then on the inside of the tail, I think I'm going to put a different color, because I want him to look kind of colorful. Now we know fall is all about squirrels and acorns and leaves. So have fun with your craft. Make a really nice, fun fall craft with your squirrel. Sometimes you're going to turn your squares a little bit just so that they outline a little better. Again, you're just trying to cover the white of the squirrel. And I find it easier, like I said, just to put the glue on wherever don't put too much glue on all the way around, because it'll dry out and then you'll have to put it on again. So just put it on for as fast as you can go with your squares. Now you're starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. I'm going to put some glue. I've got air conditioning in this room, so it dries out pretty quick in here. So I have to get my squares on quickly. All right, let's get this going. All right, let's see. I'm just going to move this one over a little bit and put another one in there. Put a little bit of glue. There, you can see the squirrel's tail is already showing pretty good. So now I want to put a different color on the inside. So I'm going to put glue all over the inside of his tail. And I am going to put, let's see, I'm going to put some orange on the inside of his tail, because I want it to look kind of bright and colorful there. So I'm going to put this on. And I got to be quick because, like I said, I put my glue on there already and it dries out pretty quick. So you want to make sure you've got it all pasted in there. And don't worry if it overlaps a little bit on some of the other squares. That's okay. Remember, this is your picture. This is your mosaic that you're creating. All right. I'm just going to move one over here a bit so I get all the white covered, because I want to cover all the white spots. All right, let's put some more in the middle here, and then I've got the tail done. All right, you can see my squirrel has a purple outline on his tail, and he's got orange in the middle there. So I'm going to put a bit more purple right here, just to finish off his tail. because I want it to really show that that is his tail. Okay, now you can see the squirrel's tail. Now let's see, maybe I'll make his body, I'm going to maybe use some yellow, I think, on the inside of his body, just right up along here. So again, use whatever colors that you feel like using. So I just put glue on first, take my little squares. If you have some foam, you can also use foam squares and it'll stand out even more because it's more like sort of 3D. That's what mosaics look like. They kind of look like they're 3D. Okay, you can see I've got it on his back there. There's a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to make his ear, I think I'll make it a pinky color. So I again just put glue on. Now it's not going to take a lot of pieces for the ear, and they're going to overlap a little bit because the ear is a funny looking sort of shape, right? So you want to get the corner of your square up there just properly so that it stands out. Okay, and I'm going to put one more yellow here so that that ear will stand out. Now I'm going to have to do a round on his face so you can see where my pink is. Now I'm going to do a round on his face. So let's see what color I should do. Maybe I'll continue on with some more, maybe I'll mix it up. I'll put some red on his face. And around his eyes, I think I'll put a little bit of yellow so his eyes, or no, maybe not yellow. Let's do a little bit of blue so his eyes stand out, just a little bit. So his eye stands out. And I'll do red for his head. All right, looking good. I'm going to stick some blue on there around his eye. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Again, this is your mosaic, so do it however you want. Let's see. I'm going to stick some blue right here, and then I'm going to put some blue right. Let's see. Put some blue right here to cover the white on the squirrel. And then I'm going to restick this Google eye on because it came off. I'll put it on top of the blue, and then the eye will stand out that way. Okay, now I'm going to put, you can see where his eye is. So now I'm going to continue with my red for his nose and his mouth here. I'm going to go all the way around. All the way around here. All right, now I want to continue on with some purple around his body here. So I'm going to do some purple and pink. I'm going to mix it up. I'll do a little maybe a little pattern of purple, pink, or pink, purple, or something like that to go all the way around to show his body. Again, if you run out of one color, you can always use any colors you want. This is a mosaic. It's supposed to look colorful. So don't worry about it. If you run out of a certain color, you can always put another one on and make it look as colorful as you want. That's what I'm doing. All right, we're starting to get his body looking pretty good there. Remember, if your glue dries out, just put a bit more on. And I'm going to keep going all the way around to cover in the body. I've got to his foot here. Keep going around here so we cover this. And you'll be able to see it in a few minutes here. I'm just going to keep putting my squares on. Let's get some more pink. Maybe your squirrel is going to be all different colors pink. You can do that too. Totally up to you. And it's going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to do his little paws. I'm going to do them in a pinky color, a lighter pink. If your square is too big, you can always make it a little smaller too. No problem. You can bend it in half and make it a little smaller so that it shows on your picture as, or you can cut it in half even. So that it shows the little paws. All right. Okay, so far that's our squirrel. So now we just got to fill in the middle. So here's where you get to do the fun part too. Put some glue in there, start sticking your squares on. I think I am going to go with some, let's see, what do I want in there? Maybe I'll continue on with the pink and purple, because those are pretty nice colors. And make sure you're covering the white. Don't leave any white strips there. And you know what? If you put a color on and you think, I don't know if I really want that color there, cover it over with another square. Or take it off if it comes off, but it's glued on, so you might want to just cover it over with another square. Don't worry about that. I am going to fix this one because I want it to look more like his foot. All right, I need a bit more glue because again, like I said, it dries in here pretty quick. So stick your squares on as fast as you can if you've already got glue down. And I'm maybe going to change his head a little bit there because I'm not real satisfied with the yellow on the neck there. And the maybe the red I'll change out too. We'll see. Or I might leave it. We'll just see. I'm just about done. Almost. And trying to get it on as fast as I can because I don't want my glue to dry out again. I think I might need to put a little bit there. Okay. And just about done. You know, people do mosaics with glass too. We're just doing it with paper today. So I'm going to take the red off here because I want to put pink around there because I think it'll look better. So I'm going to put pink there instead and purple. Let's see. Just cover this up. Like I said, don't worry if you can't get something off because you've changed your mind about the color that you want. You can simply put a color on top of another color. And there you can see we have a mosaic squirrel. Now, if you want to continue with your picture, you can certainly put some grass down there or not. All right, thank you for joining me today, and we will talk to you later. Bye.